Yes, this is the Willy Wonka cast from 1971. And what happened to these people after the camera stopped is darker, stranger, and more surprising than anything inside that chocolate factory. Stay with this all the way through, because every story connects to the next one, and if you skip ahead, you will miss the part that makes the whole thing hit differently. The man who played Willy Wonka hid his Alzheimer's diagnosis for 3 years because he did not want fans to see him as anything other than the character they loved. The girl who played Violet chewed so much gum during filming that she avoided it for years afterward, and died at 62 after a stroke left her unable to walk or speak. And the actor who played Mr. Salt fell off a horse while filming a completely different movie in Spain and died the very next day. Subscribe now, because this cast's real story is the one nobody put on a poster. Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka. Gene Wilder had one condition before he agreed to play Wonka. He wanted to limp when he first walks out to meet the children, and then suddenly break into a somersault. The producers asked why. He said because that way, nobody in the audience would ever know if the man was lying or telling the truth for the rest of the film. That is not an actor following a script. That is someone who understood the character better than anyone else in the room. He was 37 during filming and already a trained fencer. He married 4 times. His relationship with comedian Gilda Radner became one of Hollywood's most painful love stories after she died from ovarian cancer. He later survived lymphoma. And then, quietly, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. He kept it completely private for 3 years, explaining afterward that he did not want the people who loved Wonka to associate that character with what the illness was doing to him. He died in August 2016 at 83. Every new version of the character is still measured against what he did on that first day with the limp and the somersault. Peter Ostrom, Charlie Bucket. Charlie Bucket wins everything at the end of the film by being the only child who never grabbed for more than he was given. Peter Ostrom played that quality at 12 years old and then did something almost no child actor ever does. He walked away from a 3-picture deal because acting simply was not what he wanted to do with his life. He became a large animal veterinarian. He spent nearly 40 years treating dairy cows and horses, and for a long time told people his brother was the one who had been in the movie. He was too embarrassed to bring it up himself. He is 68 now, retired since 2023, married to Loretta for 39 years, and sporting a thick mustache that makes him completely unrecognizable as the boy who once owned a chocolate factory on screen. The most selfless kid in the film became one of the most privately content adults in this entire cast. Jack Albertson, Grandpa Joe. Grandpa Joe's leap out of bed and dance across the room was not a camera trick. Jack Albertson was 63 years old and a former vaudeville dancer, and he used the real physical skills he had built over decades to make that scene work. He had already beaten Gene Wilder at the Academy Awards 2 years earlier, winning Best Supporting Actor for another film entirely. He kept a colorectal cancer diagnosis completely private in his final years so he could keep working. He died in 1981 at 74. His daughter later married actor Wes Studi, which connects Wonka's grandfather to the Last of the Mohicans in a way nobody predicted. He spent his entire life performing, and kept performing right until the end. Denise Nickerson, Violet Beauregarde. Denise Nickerson chewed so much gum during the filming of Violet's scenes that she genuinely avoided it for years afterward. She was 13, and she had an unreturned crush on the boy playing Charlie that she joked about in interviews decades later. She quit acting at 21, not wanting to become a recognizable face who had run out of relevance. She worked as a nurse and later in aerospace accounting. Her first husband died of a brain aneurysm just 2 years into their marriage. In 2018, a stroke left her unable to walk or speak. She died the following year at 62. She was described by everyone who knew her from the production as the kindest of the difficult children the film needed her to play. The performance was the opposite of who she actually was. Julie Dawn Cole, Veruca Salt. Julie Dawn Cole turned 13 the same day she filmed the I Want It Now sequence, and she did not realize until later that the egg she smashed on a prop was real. The cut on her stocking in subsequent shots was real blood. Gene Wilder, who played a man surrounded by demanding children, reportedly called her an angel off camera because she was the opposite of her character in every possible way. She became a psychotherapist after leaving acting, working specifically with families in crisis. She is 68 now and has spoken with genuine humor in interviews about how her real love life never quite matched Veruca's talent for getting exactly what she demanded. She built something serious and meaningful on the other side of a role that could have followed her as a label for the rest of her life. Paris Themin, Mike TV. Paris Themin was 11 during filming, the youngest of the children playing misbehaving kids, and reportedly such an unpredictable presence on set that he once released bees inside the cast van. He quit acting at 14 to have a normal adolescence and built an oddly varied adult career that included real estate, casting direction, and work as a Disney Imagineer. In 2018, he appeared as a contestant on Jeopardy and went viral mid-broadcast when viewers recognized him as the kid from Wonka. He is 67 now, married to a fellow trivia enthusiast, and has visited more than 60 countries as an avid backpacker. The boy who shrank in the television room turned out to be someone who wanted to see the actual world. Michael Bullner, Augustus Gloop. Michael Bullner filmed the scene where Augustus falls into the chocolate river in actual freezing water dyed brown and had to repeat the fall multiple times. He was 12 and the only child in the cast who did not speak fluent English, learning his lines phonetically without understanding most of what the crew was saying around him. His father insisted he finish school rather than pursue acting. He became a tax accountant in Munich and is now 6 feet 4 inches tall, which is the tallest of all the child cast members. He is 67 now, divorced, and surfaces only occasionally at reunion events, wearing a suit instead of the chocolate-stained costume he wore at 12. He says very little publicly about his life. Roy Kinnear, Mr. Salt. Roy Kinnear played Mr. Salt as the father who cannot say no and turns his daughter into everything the film argues against. He was 36 during filming and genuinely nervous about the garbage chute sequence, even though the landing was safely padded below. He died in 1988 while filming a completely different movie in Spain. He fell from a horse on set and died the following day from a heart attack. He was 54. His death prompted a significant review of film production safety standards in the industry. He had 3 children with his wife Carmel, including a daughter with cerebral palsy, for whom he advocated fiercely. He was gone before anyone had properly appreciated how much of the film's comedy depended on the specific way he played a man who genuinely believed he was being a good father. Leonard Stone, Mr. Beauregard. Leonard Stone was 46 during filming and delivered his most famous line in a single take, speaking so quickly that even Gene Wilder was impressed. He was already a Tony-nominated stage actor with substantial television credits before arriving on this set. He stayed married to Carol Kleinman for 47 years until his death in 2011 at 87. He later had a recurring role on LA Law. In 2026, a clip of him screaming at Violet went viral as a meme used to describe bad spray tans, which is exactly the kind of second life nobody plans for a performance from 1971. Gunter Meisner, Mr. Slugworth. Gunter Meisner played the sinister rival chocolatier, tempting children to betray Wonka's trust, and he was one of the gentlest men on the entire set. He was 44 during filming. Off-camera, he personally traveled to Vietnam and Cambodia to deliver aid to children in conflict zones. He founded an art gallery in Berlin. He spoke 4 languages. He spent much of his career being cast as villains purely because of the sharp angles of his face, despite being a refined and deeply humane person. He was married to Gisela Albrecht until his death in 1994 at 68. In 2026, Berlin held retrospectives marking what would have been his 100th birthday. The gap between the character he played and the man he was is one of the widest in this entire film. Diana Sowell, Mrs. Bucket. Diana Sowell sang the only song in the film not performed by Wonka or a child, performing Cheer Up Charlie as the mother, doing everything she could with almost nothing. She was 40 during filming. She spent 25 years running a free literacy program for underprivileged children in Washington, D.C. after the film. She outlived most of the adult cast and became the last surviving Wonka parent after Gene Wilder died in 2016. She died herself in 2018 at 88. She is also, to the surprise of almost everyone who finds this out, the voice of a character in Fallout 3. Her life moved between a chocolate factory, a reading program, and a video game, which is a combination nobody writes a biography about, but probably should. The Willy Wonka cast of 1971 made a film about what kind of person you are when nobody is watching, and the rules disappear. 50 years later, the answer to that question across this cast is complicated, moving, and occasionally heartbreaking. One man hid his illness to protect a memory. One girl never got the years she deserved. One man died the day after a horse threw him, and the boy who won the factory went off to take care of animals for 40 years and told people it was his brother who had been in the movie. The golden ticket in this story was never the factory, it was the chance to find out what you actually do with what you are given. If this kept you watching until the end, subscribe. There is always more story hiding behind the chocolate walls.